Welcome back to the channel. Just Yusuf and myself today. Let's get right to it. We're going to be tier ranking the last 10 number one overall picks of the NFL draft. We have intros that are too long sometimes. Let's just skip those. Let's get right to the tiers, man. We have time for that BS today.
Nah, for sure. Let's get into it. No, number one overall picks in the last 10 years. Should be a good one.
We're going to start back in 2015 and go forward. So without further ado, we're talking 2015. First pick of the draft, Jameis Winston.
I'm going to rank Jameis in C tier. There's a lot of good with the bad, but I don't think either one outweighs each other for Jameis. So I think a C tier is strong for him.
Yeah, Jameis is. I actually like Jameis a lot. I also have him in C. Just too many turnovers, man. But like his draft wasn't great. Mariota went too. At least for the quarterback position. But yeah, I think C is perfect spot for him there.
And then next we got Jared Goff. I think I'm gonna put Goff in A tier. I think he's led a team to a Super Bowl. Detroit's really on the rise. Probably can compete for one this year and probably next couple. So I think A tier for Jared Goff.
It's like I've seen the lows with Goff and the highs with Goff. I guess my problem is there's another quarterback that I know I'm going to put in A, and I just don't know if I feel that they're in the same tier. But honestly, they probably are. I'm good with Goff in A. The Super Bowl appearance and what he's done with Detroit, that's enough for me. He's an A.
Everybody knows the next player. Myles Garrett, S tier. Best probably number one overall pick in the last 10 years.
You know, it's funny that, like, sometimes I want to penalize the player for what came after them, and this is obviously the Patrick Mahomes draft, but, like, no one knew what Mahomes was as a prospect. You know what I mean? He kind of fell into the perfect situation. He's going to be one of the greatest players ever, obviously, but I'm with you. Myles Garrett's an S-tier player, man. Immediately drop him on any roster, and they're improved. Oh, they just are. All right, the next one we got here, the Browns had back-to-back picks. This year they took Baker. I think this is 2018 here.
I have him in B tier, honestly. I think he's been solid. The Buccaneers are really reviving his career. Carolina stint was bad, but everyone's been bad in Carolina. So I think a B is best for Baker.
You know, it's funny. Like, part of me didn't love Baker when he came out. I definitely have him in B tier, too. The stint with Cleveland, like, he doesn't get enough credit. The Cleveland was a play away from beating the Chiefs, I want to say, in 2020 or 2021, one of those years. Yeah. And then, of course, he had the Browns gave up on him, and then he's replacing Tom Brady, which are big shoes to fill. But I don't think anyone's, like, I've been impressed with Baker's stint so far. With Tampa Bay, I definitely think it's worthy of a B tier as well. All right, for this next one, I think we might officially have some
disagreement here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know where you lean, but I'll let you go first with Kyler.
I have Kyler Murray in B tier. I think his talent outgrades Baker, but I think overall performance or like team quality, and they gave up on a first-round pick the previous year to take him instead of a player like Nick Bosa. So I think I have Kyler in B tier, and I'd hold strong on that.
Yeah, I'll give you B, but I was leaning towards C. I feel like I'm not even trying to buy into like the Call of Duty type memes and stuff like that. I definitely think that Kyler, his talent, I could never argue with the talent. I know it's there, but he's a small quarterback, which is something I don't love. Evidently, if the reports are true, doesn't have his head where it should be as far as it comes to winning. I'll give you B, but it's solely off the talent because I've not seen enough on the field to believe that he deserves that just yet. Maybe he'll change my mind, but
yeah, it's possible. No, I can agree, especially with Kyler because like the talent's all there. I mean, it's like a number of like games he's lost. Like when Call of Duty comes out, it's like he doesn't ever win on that like release weekend or release week. Like a player his talent Heisman Trophy winner should perform better, I think, or lead a team. But I mean, it's also been a bad roster since he's got there.
That's true. It's hard to argue with that. All right. We'll put him in the B tier.
And next, Joey or whatever you want to call Joe Burrow. As much as I want to put him in S tier, I love the LSU run. I think he is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He really hasn't done any more than what the other man in A tier has done, and he hasn't gone somewhere else and won like well. So I really would have to stick him in A tier for right now, especially how this year is going. Normally, probably like if you told me like we did this when they went to the Super Bowl, I would have done S tier. But as of right now, I think A tier.
Yeah, it's funny that this is exactly what I was comparing Goff to earlier when I kind of mentioned the other quarterback. And based off like just what I've seen on the field, Burrows to me is better than Jared Goff. I don't think anyone would argue that. But at the end of the day, it's just he's not an S tier player. I mean, he got to that Super Bowl, but he's basically been living off that run from beating Patrick for long enough now. And I've told you, I'm done giving him the benefit of the doubt that the Bengals are going to be good again just because of him. He's going to have to show me again. And right now they're not a good team. And the last time we saw him in the playoffs, he was losing to Patrick, not beating him. So I know people have this weird revisionist history where we try to act like the most recent thing he did was get to that Super Bowl, but it's not. Yeah. It's not. He's lost since then. He lost that Super Bowl, and then he lost the AFC Championship the next year to Patrick. So he gets more credit for beating Patrick in the AFC Championship game than Matt Stafford gets for winning the Super Bowl. Yeah. So it's A. Unfortunately, it's A. I'd love to put him in S, though. Always injured, by the way. Always injured, so it's hard to be an S tier when you're always hurt.
Yeah, like we're knocking Kyler down, and we know his talent, but like always injured as well. So I think it makes the most sense for how we're ranking this so far. And then the Jags got back-to-back, so let's start with the first one. We got Trevor Lawrence. I gave Kyler the benefit of the doubt. I really want to put Lawrence in C tier just because his freshman year of college, he was supposed to be like the next hero, the next like unsung best quarterback prospect. I don't think he's lived up to it at all. I'm going to go B tier to be nice just because I gave Kyler also B tier, but I really want to rank him in C.
You know, hopefully I can convince you. Because it's funny, of the other players, to me he's by far the most disappointing. Because I was a believer that he would come into the league. I'm not saying he'd make the Jags title contenders, but like it's not in the numbers, it's not in the intangibles. I haven't seen like, and I want to believe he'll be good. And I've seen it. Like he won the playoff game. Of course, you know, he threw 4 interceptions. They did come back and win that game somehow. If he didn't have the playoff win, I'd put him in D. I swear to you, because he's disappointed me. I'll put him in C because of that playoff one. I've been heavily disappointed with his career so far. I know the Jags are an absolute dumpster fire of a franchise, so I'm trying to give him some pass, and I'll put him in C for that, and hopefully he can turn it around. But he's not looking like the gem we thought he was at one point.
Nah, for sure. I'm fine with C tier. I really wanted to put him there, so I'm fine with that. I mean, I put him ahead of Winston, but he's a strong C tier for just what I really expected out of him. And then next they have Travion Walker. I'm going to go D tier for Walker. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson was sitting on the board, and I really thought Hutchinson was the better player at the time coming out of college. I know the Alabama hype, and I think they even said Walker was more of a raw product, but I'm going to go D tier. No much more need to be said about that.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of took my speech there. I was thinking the same thing. I'm trying my best not to compare them to like the immediate person, but these are both edge rushers, and the better one went second in this scenario. So I'm going to have to put him in the D tier as well. And the reason I won't put him in the F tier is because the next pick we have here, sorry Dakota, CJ Stroud should have went ahead of Bryce Young clearly. This is an F tier for the Panthers. I understand that Stroud probably wouldn't look that awesome with the Panthers either, but he damn sure couldn't look this bad. What happened? He's supposed to be this polished product to a degree. I don't understand.
I agree. Yeah, he was supposed to come in and just be like the calmness to the Panthers quarterback room. New coach, new front office, new quarterback. Like everyone's supposed to come in and supposed to work. And oh my God, you fired the whole coaching staff, then you do it all, and you fire the whole front office, then you do it again. I mean, partially on him because I mean we still got to play and perform. I saw them play his rookie year, and I mean they played my Colts, and he threw 2 pick sixes that day. So like it's just not good. It's not pretty. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of intangibles. Line's bad. No receiver talent. I mean, Adam Thielen still had 1,000 yards. I mean, you can find other targets. So I think F tier is best for him.
All right, that brings us to our most recent draft. This is kind of a hard one to grade. To be fair to Bryce as well, I mean, we'll see where he goes, but he at least has a pretty large sample size as opposed to our most recent number 1 pick. Caleb doesn't have much. This is coming right off the game that this lost to Jaden and company. Jaden looks... I'm not going to say that Jaden looks like he should be the number 1 pick just now because I'm not going to overreact to 7 games. I mean, he should win Rookie of the Year right now, but in a vacuum, like their whole careers, we'll see how that develops. Yeah. We've seen things like... We thought the same thing about Robert Griffin and Andrew Luck at the time, and even though they both ended up early, I would still say Andrew Luck was the better quarterback, even though Griffin won Rookie of the Year. And I would put Caleb in B tier. There's definitely something to be desired, but I think I've seen enough at this point to where he's going to get it, and that team's going to be pretty strong for years to come.
No, I can agree with B tier because I think he's just every bit of what the other 2 guys in B tier are, and I think he's just a year of growth or the rest of the season away from touching Burrow or Goff, especially if they make the playoffs this year. There's no reason I wouldn't look back and put him in A tier, but I think B tier is the best for Caleb. But as of right now, the sample size we have.
As of right now is kind of what I was getting at, because I mean I wouldn't be surprised if he went up a tier, and maybe he'll go up to S tier. We'll just have to see. But I think right now, from what I've seen, like of course he's had like the low passing yards, but he's gotten better and better. I know this is a little bit of an off week against the Commanders, but I'm not hating on that at all. This is going to happen for rookie quarterbacks. I mean, you have to give them time to grow. But yeah, Yusuf, looking at the tiers right now, how do you think we did?
I think we did great. I mean, if someone disagrees, I mean, please tell me who else you would put where. I think everyone's going to move Burrow to S tier. I think that'd be the biggest difference that we see from everyone else, but I think we did spot on here.
I think so too. Yeah, if you moved Burrow to S tier, then why don't you go back to 2021, whenever the last time he actually was in S tier, and remind me with your time machine, that you're still having fun there, because he's no longer that. He's lost the benefit of the doubt, folks. I'm telling you. But anyways, that does it for another edition of our tiers here. Again, let us know what we got wrong, even if it's Joe Burrow. Don't care. I want to hear it in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all the things. For Yusuf and myself, we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.